This is Nick Nielsen, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you here today is Creatine Gummies, CreaGums. Now, this is an interesting product because I've literally been taking creatine since probably about 1993, on and off, not directly ever since, but it's literally one of the most studied, most beneficial supplements in existence. There's been, so many different variations of creatine over the years, trying to improve absorption. Some of them are gimmicky, some of them are no better than creatine monohydrate. That's where I think something like this can actually be good, because this is a different delivery mechanism, but it doesn't try to claim that it's any better than regular creatine monohydrate. This is primarily, because it is creatine monohydrate, basically the goal of this is consistency and convenience. So let me just drop that on the floor. This is what the creatine gummy looks like, and I'll dig one of these suckers out here. I will try to dig one of these suckers out here. That is a creatine gummy. Now, each one of these has 1.5 grams of creatine in it. So the serving size is 2 of these, 3 grams of creatine. Now, in general, creatine can be taken 2 ways. You can do a loading dose, where you take 5 grams 4 times a day for 5 days, and that gets you the loading in your muscles faster. If you take a smaller dose, but consistently over a long duration of time, you're going to achieve that same effect in your muscles as you would, that same saturation in your muscles as you would with a loading, without a lot of the excess water that can sometimes happen with creatine loading. So something like this, where, if you're built larger, you got more muscle mass, you may want to take 3 of these, which is 4.5 grams. Do that consistently for 20 to 30 days. You're going to achieve the same levels as if you loaded creatine as well. So, as I mentioned before, the version in here is creatine monohydrate. There's no creatine citrate. There's no other random, whatever types of creatine in here. And I've tested a lot of these, and a lot of those are garbage. This is actually really good, and it's a very efficient and easy way to get your creatine, especially because it tastes really good. It's only got 1 gram of sugar in it, so it's not high sugar, so you're not going to get enhanced absorption from an insulin effect, which is something that some creatines were recommending a while ago. 1 gram of sugar is not going to do that, but taking it consistently over time, you're going to get the same effects as if you were taking it in a loading dose or with insulin, an insulin pulse. Now, is this going to cause water retention? Not at this dose. Is this going to cause GI issues like stomach cramping? That can sometimes happen with creatine monohydrate. In this gummy form, I'm going to assume that it's kind of dissolved into this and then stabilized into a low moisture kind of gummy. So it should be shelf stable, and it should be just as effective. Like, for example, if you take creatine and let it sit overnight, it can degrade into creatinine, which is something you don't want. So after researching the delivery mechanism, this gummy, this format, should be shelf stable, and it should be effective with creatine. So you're not going to, as I digress completely into another topic, you're not going to get GI issues from this. I did kind of a test to see how many I could take at one time. You can take a good dose. I ate 6 of these at one time. I didn't feel like going much higher than that, but I didn't see any cramping or any ill effects from that. If you're taking regular creatine, you take it in hot water and you kind of dissolve it. So this is going to kind of take that step and enhance I don't know if it's going to enhance the absorption of it, but it is going to make it easier so that you don't have to soak it in warm water and dissolve it. So this is, again, from CreaGums, creatine monohydrate gummies. Here's kind of a look. It's an orange flavor. It tastes really good. You're not eating it for the taste, you're eating it for the creatine, but having something that tastes good is going to definitely make it easier to taste. So if you're vegetarian, I'm honestly not sure if this has any non-vegetarian ingredients in it. If there's gelatin in here, obviously that's not vegetarian. I'm going to have to ask the makers on that, because I'm really not sure on that. But if you're not vegetarian, this is going to be a really good option for something that you can take and get the benefits of long-term creatine supplementation in a very convenient and very easy format.